I ran over 200 tests of Pegasus Blast this weekend across 7 of the best combos that I could think of across both attack and stamina to test the mettle of Blast and see if it has potential to become the next meta staple in beybladex. And spoiler alert, but I genuinely think it will, as one of the combos I tested had the best results of any combo I've ever tested, ever, period. I live streamed my testing for my first ever live stream on the channel, which you can see the VOD in my videos, by the way, and logged every single result, every battle outcome, every point won and lost in my competitive tracking spreadsheet, which can be found in the link down below. All of this testing has shown me how much potential Blast has to become an excellent attacker and amazing stamina option, not just in CX, but in the Beyblade meta as a whole. Also, it's worth noting that I did all of this testing without the metal lock chip, which means it's just as accessible for you as it is for me, even if you don't have that or don't plan to get it. But if you do have that metal lock chip, I'll just tell you that that's going to make all of these combos that I found that work that much better. So, you ready to dive in and figure out what can take Pegasus Blast all the way to the top? Let's get into it. Just before that though, this video would not be possible without sponsors of the channel, beybladex, as well as Newzel3D. Use code WIZARD at both shops to get 8% off your next beybladex order and 10% off your next Newzel3D order. It's an amazing way to save some money and support the channel. Remember, beybladex has the amazing new Shark Scale deck set, as well as Samurai Caliber, both up for pre-order. And if you wanted to get both of those from beybladex, using code WIZARD, you'll save an extra $5 and be able to support the channel along the way. And in the meantime, if you want to get the same tools that I use for all the testing in all of these testing videos, you can go to Newzel3D. They've got the launcher links, attachments, accessories like bay displays, all that kind of stuff. Again, code WIZARD will save you 10% off your order there. Lastly, if you really want to support the channel, you can go ahead and click that join button there to become an official member of the Anti-Wizard Wizard Club. That's a great way to support the channel directly, similar to something like Patreon. And if you just really like this video, you can go ahead and click the thanks button as well to leave a little bit of a tip, essentially, if this was really entertaining or helpful for you. With that being said, let's just jump right back into the video all about Pegasus Blast. So for this testing process, I switched it up a little bit from my previous testing methods, but for good reason. In my Scorpio Spear and Tricera Press testing videos, I did 20 total battles per combo, which, by the way, I'll link those videos down below if you're curious. All of those battles for each combo were done 10 versus Wizard Rod 960 Ball, and 10 versus Phoenix Wing 360 Rush. But this time I wanted a bit of a larger sample for each combo I was testing, so I did 30 battles per combo, which 10 are with Wizard Rod 960 Ball once again, 10 are with a much more aggressive attacker in Phoenix Wing 160 Rush, and then another 10 versus a more balanced counter attacker in Aero Pegasus 360 level. As always, I try to keep as many variables as consistent as possible, and I never include results in my testing that didn't meet my standards in terms of the way it was launched or any other potential faults that could have happened in that specific battle. If you want more details on my testing process, again, you can check out the Tricera Press and Scorpio Spear videos linked down below. But with that being said, let's dive into the results of my Pegasus Blast testing. So for this set of testing, I took a good hard look at the blade and tried to come up with the best combos that I could based on what I was seeing. And when I had an initial list of combos, I iterated on them with the community, as well as reviewed other videos online, particularly videos coming out of the Asian or Japan scene, to really refine that list and figure out the best combos that are worth exploring a little bit further. And here are the combos that I landed on testing. Pegasus Blast Wheel 960 Low Orb, Pegasus Blast Wheel 455 Under Needle, Pegasus Blast Wheel 660 Free Ball, Pegasus Blast Wheel 360 Elevate, Pegasus Blast Slash 160 Low Flat, Pegasus Blast Assault 160 Kick, and Pegasus Blast Slash 360 Low Rush. Clearly, these combos are kind of split into two camps, the stamina camp and the attacker camp. All the stamina combos are utilizing the amazing new Wheel Assist Blade, which just came out in CX08, And the attacking combos are using a variety of assist blades from Slash to Assault, just to kind of test the waters on them a little bit. Despite this being an exciting release, it's still a CX blade that comes with the CX weakness of being too tall for its own good. But being the heaviest blade so far in the CX lineup, as well as having a shape that's reminiscent of Aero Pegasus, an incredibly strong blade in its own right, I had high hopes for Pegasus Blast going into testing. And the results? They more than validated this mindset. Across all the combos I tested, there were 2 combos that stood far and above the rest. In the stamina camp, Pegasus Blast Wheel 360 Elevate destroyed the competition. And for an attacking variant, Pegasus Blast Slash 360 Low Rush really packed a punch. Let's start with the combo that absolutely blew me away in testing. Pegasus Blast Wheel 360 Elevate. This combo had, bar none, the best results I have ever tested with any combo across Scorpio, across Triceratops, even other combos that I haven't made videos on. It's had the best results, period. With a win rate of 2.75 and an average points earned of 0.57. To put it in perspective, that win rate rivals my regular win rate with Wizard Rod 160 Hexa in tournament play. This is not a fluke. It just refuses to lose. But there are some important things to note in terms of how to utilize this combo. First, thinking about the attack matchup, this combo absolutely destroyed Phoenix Wing 160 Rush, winning 10 out of 10 of those battles. And it held its own against Wizard Rod, winning more often than it lost. And against Aero Pegasus on level, it had the stamina and the shape to withstand those blows and outlast the second best LAD bit in the game while using Elevate. What makes this combo so dominant is the balance and the LAD from Elevate. The new Wheel Assist Blade paired with Pegasus Blast gives it an incredibly defensive profile that can withstand pretty much any hit and stay stable in the arena. The 3-winged shape of Blast combined with the balance and rounded shape of Wheel and the weight of this blade in and of itself makes it able to withstand most hits that anything could throw at it. And then there's Elevate. Elevate is the key. The height of Blast on Wheel means that most hits are hitting the assist blade, not the main blade. And that assist blade is incredible at absorption. Between that and the amazing LAD that Elevate provides, it leads to very consistent spin finish wins, which is why the win rate is so high and the points earned per battle is not anything crazy. Now, yes, there is the elephant in the room, which is that Elevate can be a liability if you don't know how to launch a blade using it. I found that launching at a slight angle and avoiding crazy X dashes as much as possible and trying to center yourself in as low of a point in the center of the arena as possible, that's the key to getting these consistent spin finish victories with Blast Wheel 360 Elevate. You gotta be able to do that consistently to make this work, so definitely get your practice in with launching this combo. Because of that, this is going to be a combo that rewards highly technical launch skill, as well as reading your opponent to make sure that they don't bully you onto the rail or get a bit snipe in, which can be pretty easy, especially from more aggressive blades like Phoenix Wing or Tyranno Beat, or even Triceratops on an aggressive combo like 360 Rush, found in my Triceratops testing video. All in all, if you're able to make this blade not bit burst, it can usually withstand any hit that's thrown at it, and you're going to find consistent spin finish wins, even against the likes of Wizard Rod on ball. So don't feel pressured to use Elevate only on Cobalt Dragoon anymore. But if Elevate's too much of a liability for you and you just don't believe in the potential of the stamina combo, the attacking version of Pegasus Blast is nothing to sneeze at either. Pegasus Blast on Slash 360 Low Rush is my top performing attack combo that I've found with Pegasus Blast in my testing. Blast Slash on Low Rush did really well and matched the competitive potential I found in something like Triceratops on Rush. It pulled out a 1.5 win-loss ratio and had an average points earned of 0.37 per battle. And it had pretty consistent performance across all 3 of the test battles I did with Rod, Aero Pegasus, and Phoenix Wing. While some of the other attacking builds that I tested using low flat and kick kind of fell short at the end and weren't able to really close out as many matches as the low rush variant, this variant was able to, and I think I have a suspicion as to why. Low rush puts blast at a very low height, especially when combined with the slash assist blade, or jaggy, but I used slash, as a very low profile attacker. It's got a really balanced weight distribution and keeps a good amount of interaction with the rail, not too much, not too little. All of this kept Pegasus Blast consistently at a safer height throughout the battle in the stadium than other CX combos might, which allowed for more consistent hits metal to metal versus other similar attacking builds. I would maybe caution you against using Assault just because it's slightly taller than something like Slash or Jaggy, and as we can see here, every millimeter of height counts, so keep that in mind. Wins against Phoenix Wing on this combo often came from a variety of mid-battle bumps that either sent it to the pocket or was able to outlast it and drain its stamina. And against Aero Pegasus on level, this combo on Blast was able to outlast the LAD that Pegasus on level offers and earn a spin finish more often than not, which is pretty cool to see for CX. Now I want to give some perspective and break down the performance of some of the other combos we tested real quick. 960 low orb and 455 under needle both had respectable performance with a win-loss ratio of 1.14, but their point averages were negative. These builds just simply couldn't generate enough meaningful victories. They did okay, but they didn't win decisively or consistently, and that's what we're looking for here. And 660 freeball, okay, we need to talk about this. It just underperformed, specifically the 660 ratchet. I've seen a lot of discourse in the community about 660 being incredibly well balanced on this blade, and I am not denying that. It is very balanced when it stays on the blade. I don't know if I just don't have a good copy of 660. I have 3 different variants now, and I even went out and got a brand new Courage Dran to get a fresh Hasbro 660, but that ratchet will burst if you just look at it funny. And putting that on a CX blade with the higher height, it's just asking for disaster. I really wouldn't recommend using 660 at all on this blade unless you have an abnormally tight 660 and paired it with something like low rush or the upcoming under flat maybe. Now, Assault 160 kick and Slash 160 low flat were interesting ideas, especially kick, which did net some solid burst finishes, but both builds were too inconsistent in the long run. Good fun, but I wouldn't include them in my tournament deck. So what does this mean for Pegasus Blast? I gotta say, this is the first CX blade I've tested that truly feels like it's pushing the ceiling for CX higher. Most CX struggle to consistently land series of clean hits, 4, 5, 6, 7, without running into destabilization, and these blast combos are some of the first I've seen that start to get past that problem. And remember, all of this testing is being done without the metal lock chip, which would add roughly another 4 grams of weight to the blade, and that would just make the stamina builds be able to stay in the center of the arena, stay stable, and hold their ground a little bit better, and it'll give a little bit more power and weight behind the swinging attacks from attacking builds for Blast. So the ceiling is yet to be found, even from this incredible testing results. So for my final takeaways, stamina build, I gotta recommend Blast Wheel 360 Elevate, and for an attacking build, I think you can do really well with Blast Slash 360 Low Rush. And your ceiling is going to go even higher if you're able to get your hands on that metal lock chip from Valkyrie Bolt. I truly think Blast is one of the most versatile, incredibly fun CX releases we've gotten so far that has a real chance of actually shaking up the meta. A first for CX. I hope you're able to grab Pegasus Blast from Bays and Bricks, using code WIZARD of course for 8% off, and try some of these combos out and see if you can shake up your local tournament scene. If you are able to try Blast, let me know how it does at your next tournament, especially if you're using one of these combos from this video. And again, if you want to dive into the full data set, every match, every outcome, every point won or lost, that full sheet is available in the description of this video. Check it out. So what do you think? Is there potential for Blast to genuinely come into the S tier of the meta? Do any of these combo results surprise you, or is there something that you think I missed in my testing? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear what you think. With that being said, like the video if you liked the video, and subscribe for more awesome beybladex content in your feed very, very soon. Don't forget to use code WIZARD at Bays and Bricks as well as Noozle3D for 8 and 10% off respectively. It's a great way to support the channel and save some money for yourself. If you're interested in supporting the channel even further, consider becoming an official member of the Anti-Wizard Wizard Club by hitting that join button or leaving a tip with the super thanks option down below. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan with Anti-Wizard Wizard Club, and welcome to the club.